Yes, I'm headed down to somewhere. Got my pickaxe in my hand. I'm headed down to somewhere. God knows where I am.
One evening as the sun went down and our cooking coals were glowing, down the path came a party hiking, and they said, folks, we're all going. We're yearning for a portal far away in a tavern full of shouting. So join us, friends, and let's descend deep into Under Mountain, deep into Under Mountain. There run dungeons hot and cold, where the monsters surge and pushes, and the youngest runes are old, where the mimics all lie waiting, and the goblin werebats roost, all the wisps and wasps and the mezzo-lost, the hidden pit where we'll all plummet deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, all our blades will sing like choirs, as our arrows strike like drum beats, and our green flame pops and pyres. Our barbarian will stomp a brood as the rogues dance shadow play. Oh, we're sworn to go at a great tempo. We'll chant our spells as we now delve deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, you'll always find new gear, and your old mundane accoutrement can be handed down, don't fear. The magic items you'll attune and the artifacts you'll find. There's armor with gems and weird potions and a propeller hat that lets you ascend deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, the mad wizard stood gates so folks can open portals. He left clues to activate. He has a thing for puzzles and he likes to throw his voice. We're going to delve to where he dwells, to the lowest tower, to seek his power deep into Under Mountain. I'll see you there, the lowest lair, deep into Under Mountain.
The summer is past, but your days keep growing longer. There's no wind in your sails, but the storm's blowing stronger. Walking hard, standing tall, keeping your head up through it all. Fighting fires, spinning plates. Goodness, how'd it get so late? Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and just let your mind float downstream, sprawled out in a moonbeam. Lay your head down and dream. Joe Hills is filmed before a live streaming audience.
That's us! Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and today, y'all are my live streaming audience. I should be saying our, because today we have a special guest. Can you say hello to us, Pasta?
Hello to us, Pasta. Hello.
Welcome, Pasta. Everyone should be able to hear Pasta. Let me know if you have any problems with that. It looks like all the levels are good and going out live. If you guys do not know Pasta, or don't recall Pasta, Pasta actually appeared on voice in Hermitcraft 6, episode 158. He had a bunch of questions for me about setting up a charity event. And I have this kind of policy where if somebody sends me questions like that, I don't want to spend 2 hours writing that person an email. Not because I'm a jerk who doesn't want to help that person, but because I don't want to spend 2 hours helping one person if I could help way more people. So I had met Pasta several years before at PAX. Was it South? I think, were we in that tower restaurant thing?
Oh, where were we?
I think we were in the tower, like, you know, that San Antonio has, like, their World's Fair
Yes.
tower with the
Yes,
bar.
yes.
It was like, was that I think it was like an AC Inc. C-Team meetup or something like
Yeah.
that.
No, it was. It was the last meetup of PAX, I think, before everybody went home. God, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was a fun time. And anyways, so I had known Pasta from PAX, and we had kind of kept up here and there. And so, you know, when I got this question, I was like, oh, well, you know what? Why don't you just come on my stream one day, and we'll just talk about you setting up this charity event. And like, because I had done some charity events previously, and, you know, I want to help. So, you know, our conversation ended up being so helpful that I cut it down from about 2 hours into that 53-minute episode 6, or episode 158 of season 6 I just posted. And so, let's see, we had that conversation in January of 2020, which keeps feeling like it's last year, but we're not even there yet. It's so close. So, you know, I wanted to have Pasta back on the show so we could talk a little bit just about how things have been going. Right now, I'm kind of going to be walking through our model of Castle Ravenloft, which, you know what? It's really not that impressive from down here. But let me switch our game mode real quick over to Spectator. And if I just fly up through the ceiling for a little bit and out, this is Castle Ravenloft here. I built this in Season 5 of Hermitcraft, and I want to renovate it and basically update it to use new snapshot blocks. So while we talk about what Pasta's been up to with his organization Draw for Charity over the course of the last year or so, I'm going to be taking some notes as well on how to update this. Now, Pasta, one thing that I've modified since the last time you saw this is I tried, like, I keep trying to say combine deleting and erasing. I tried deleting a bunch of the ocean chunks and putting in some mists down here with glass blocks with mixed results. But this is just like rough experimental stuff. But
Sure.
It looks a lot better than being able to see the ocean, because you shouldn't be able
Yeah.
to see that from Ravenloft.
Yeah. No, I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah.
Can you, I mean, is there a way to get clouds down here?
With Optifine, I could move the cloud level way lower, but that's a mod that it doesn't work on snapshots. And so while I'm
okay.
doing the renovations, it won't work. But yeah, what I wanted to do was use fill commands to replace the ocean with air, and then put in different layers of glass down here. And
That works.
that seemed to generally work. For some reason, these chunks are not loading very quickly, and connection timed out. So maybe I just won't fly over there, because flying over there seems to cause some sort of problem. I might have crashed the server.
Got gremlins.
We had some issues when I did the first fill command, where instead of just erasing all of the blocks all the way down to the bottom of the map, I accidentally converted them all into entities, which is like, you know when you hit a block with a pickaxe? Oh, yeah, I forgot to, if I disconnect and reconnect, it automatically resets me into adventure mode. So that, like, if...
Oh, you're about to die.
Yeah, no, I'm good. So anyway, don't fly too far that way, because it might knock you out of or it might knock you off the server if too many entities load. So anyway, core concept. One of the things that I'm working on today is making notes about how we can update this build. Of course, I'm totally lost now. I got in. Oh, did you get kicked?
I'm back in. Yeah, I did get kicked. I'm back in, but I'm on the mists. I'm walking up on the mists.
Okay.
I am Strahd.
Hi. Let me. I'm gonna teleport you to me. So, while I do that, Pasta, there you go. You are back in adventure mode, so you won't accidentally, like, walk through a wall and get lost. But now you can't see me, so I'm gonna put my game mode back into adventure mode as well. And now I won't accidentally punch through doors with my creative powers. Okay. So, where was I? Yeah. I was gonna say, draw for charity. Like when we first talked, did you have the idea? I think you did have the idea of doing it as an Uno stream.
Yeah.
We had that much when we talked last January.
Yeah, I mean, I think the TLDR is that we were playing Uno as a group, and especially Michaela Ebel, McBoots42 on Twitter. We were playing a lot of Uno, and I just had one night where I was like, let's do an Iron Man marathon, 24 hours of nonstop Uno, see who drops first. And I was like, no, 48 hours. And then I was like, no, 48 hours for charity. And then some people stepped in and was like, hey, you can't stay up for 2 days. That's not healthy. You were one of those people, so thanks for that one.
Well, I try to be, helpful where I can in terms of making sure people don't die. But, that was why I said, like, you got to have a group. You got to have a posse working on that.
Agreed.
So, also just to give you a sense of, like, what I'm doing here, like, I'm looking at, so this area is the Kingsman's Quarters. And it says, like, the dark passage runs for 20 feet, connecting an archway to the west with an ascending stone staircase to the east. To the north and south are 10-foot square alcoves cluttered with rotting cots and dirty rags. The ceilings here are covered with yellow lichen. And I'm making notes like, make ceiling yellow. Like, maybe I'll put in some yellow sponges or whatever for this lichen, right? Okay.
You did yellow sponges back over here for like a drippy ceiling, which I loved that effect. That was really good.
Yeah. So that was not actually part of the original. So part of this renovation audit is that I'm also testing different materials to see, because there's supposed to be yellow lichen in this part too.
This looks great. This looks it looks super gross. Like, I don't want to be down here.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't want this. Like, this is a bad place to be. Oh, another thing that I should do is I should turn my brightness in game way down. Although, like, there's so little light in this area. But, like, this is supposed to look super moody. But, yeah. So, you had your first 48-hour charity event, though, back in May.
Yes.
And I was not able to be too much of a part of that. I showed up for a few segments, but I couldn't really be on the schedule because of childcare obligations I had. But do you want to talk a little bit about who you raised money for, how it went there, that sort of thing?
So Draw for Charity was really rallied around by people from the Shadow Council who orbit Penny Arcade, who really got this wonderful charity started called Child's Play. Child's Play is a organization that raises money to buy toys and games and other kind of entertainment for kids in hospitals. If you have an extended stay in a hospital, it's miserable, and if you're a kid, you need a distraction badly, and that's what Child's Play provides. We raised over 5,000 last year. I can't remember if it was 5, 6, or 7, but we absolutely smashed our goal, and managed to raise. I always kind of do the math in my head every once in a while of just how many PlayStations and Xboxes and books and toys were bought for kids off the money that everybody helped raise. And it was an absolute pleasure to do. So yeah, that's who we did. Child's Play is the charity.
Yeah, and I posted a link to Child's Play in the chat there. The final total was $5,126 on May 25th, according to Twitter.
It always feels good. Oh, it feels.
Oh wait,
so
no.
good.
Sorry. Then there's a tweet after that somebody else tipped, or not tipped, donated, bringing it up to $5,226. So yeah, $5,200 for Child's Play from a bunch of people just hanging out and playing Uno for 2 days. And so the big organization there, or the big organizers doing the heavy lifting for a lot of that were you and Michaela Abel. And Michaela, I'm actually going to have on the show tomorrow to do some chatting about creating D&D characters and like drawing them and stuff like that. Also, people yelling in all caps. Don't yell in all caps. I understand you're concerned about me because there was an explosion a few miles away, but it was a few miles away. So let's just move on. I'm not going to let this guy ruin my week. That's AT&T's job. So, okay. Yeah, so it was primarily you and Michaela doing most of the organization for the first event, although I noticed like NJ Coffee Junkie was also like really kind of helping fill in a lot of the gaps.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of people who jumped in, and I'd like to like shout out Drunk Vitologist for stepping in. Jay Nix, who is our friend from across the Atlantic, Pacific. There's two different types of oceans. Pacific.
I think there's more than two different types of oceans.
There's several different types of oceans, but on either side of you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I do, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be friendly about it.
But I had a bunch of people step in. Like, man, that was a real heartwarming. I mean, beyond just the charity, it's nice to know that people will just rally and stay up way longer than they should to ensure that a good cause is seen through.
Mm-hmm.
And another part that I kind of wanted to like generally just address was a lot of people don't realize that like small donations. I see a lot of people apologize for a small donation. Those make all the difference. When we think of like I buy a PS5 for $500, a lot of the times there are charities that will make deals with certain companies that get it for cost or something along those lines. So you're buying more than you think you are. When you donate, $1, $2, $3, $5, it's a huge amount.
Well, and that's not just like So for example, Child's Play might be able to get bulk discounts on things, but like the dang it, I'm looking at this map and unfortunately, we need to go refer to map 12. Okay,
does Strahd have a room full of toys that we could talk about?
Well, kind of. So the map here gets a little bit weird. So unfortunately, the note taking I'm doing them in the order that the rooms are in the book, which is completely non-linear. I think we need to be down in here. Wait, maybe not. Is this K73? Yeah, this is K73. Okay, great. So yeah, a lot of times, like the rooms, the order that I'm marking them up, we're gonna have to like walk through four different rooms, then write stuff down, then go back. But yeah, the what do you call it? The bulk purchasing thing. That's one of the things that one of our big charities in Nashville is that does food. What do you call it? Food bank. Which let me make sure that I've got their website. Second Harvest. Yeah.
Heard of them?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's probably a pretty common name if I had to guess for food bank because I think that I don't know. But yeah. So one of the things that Second Harvest is big on is they're like, look, we're happy to have you donate cans, and we're happy to have you volunteer to come in and sort cans people donated. But keep in mind, if you go to the grocery store and buy 12 cans, you're going to be paying twice what we would pay if we bought them through, like, a restaurant distributor or something. Like, if you just give us the money, and then we can buy the food literally by the truckload, like... you might not feel like you're helping as much because you're not handing us a bunch of cans of food, but you are helping. And
money goes a long way.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah, is don't assume that $1 that you give to a charity, like what they can do with that dollar, even though they might have some staff overhead and stuff. Like if they're getting these things at half the price or 60% of the price, they can come out way ahead. Yeah. So, yeah, let's see.
Also, sorry, I should have mentioned something else about Draw for Charity, because you mentioned overhead and employees.
Yeah.
Another thing they don't just, like, walk in, drop the toys, and then leave. They stay.
This is Child's Play that you're talking about now.
Yes, this is Child's Play that I'm talking about.
Yes. Back to Child's Play. I'll post the link again.
we have this assumption that most kids know how to play video games, but there are kids who are fortunate or are unfortunate enough not to have that, like, kind of as a given. Like, a lot of us assume, like, oh, everyone knows how to play Nintendo. Some kids don't.
I was gonna say,
and so
you
they
you
actually-
say that, Pasta, but my goodness, you give a kid a Nintendo and they're gonna have 800 questions about every single thing. Like, okay, here's a quick
Yeah.
tip. Here's a free tip for all the parents out there. You get your kids like a Pokemon game or a Zelda game or whatever. You buy them the strategy guide from Prima. It sounds stupid because I'm like, I know this stuff is for free on Game FAQs, but you know what my kid doesn't have? Is unlimited access to game FAQs, which means every question they have gets brought to me, then I type it in my phone, then I would read it back to them. No good. You give your kid a 300-page book about Pokemon, and you say, here's the table of contents. I'm going to teach you how a table of contents works. I'm going to teach you how the index works. Here's the chapter with the Pokemon in number order. Figure it out. Here are the pages with the maps. You got a question about where something is? I'll help you find it in this book, but I'm not going to just Google it for you. I'm going to teach you research. Sorry, yeah, I got
no. So the cool
sidetracked.
thing, no, you're right. That's right. And this is coming from someone who doesn't have a kid. And I was a little brother, so when I was a little brother, I would always go to my sister and be like, "Hey, I can't beat this part."
Mhm.
Draw for Charity does that. They will go in and, like, not only will they, like, just drop the games off and leave, they'll stay. They'll set up VR headsets. They will teach kids how to use switches. They will help kids walk through. Sometimes they'll just be there.
Mhm.
Like, just having someone present with a common interest could make all the difference in the world. So that's also where your money is going, is having somebody to help a kid learn something. Something that's really important to all of us. Like, video games mean something to all of us, some more than others. But it's such a wonderful charity. Yeah, it's an honor to help raise money for it.
Yeah, and so you did the first Child's Play event, and it seemed like it was a good time, and this was almost entirely spent playing Uno.
Oh, yeah.
48 hours playing Uno, and this was one of the things that when we started talking about, hey, what could we do better next time? Because you had asked me, just for context, I had been invited, despite the fact that I couldn't put in a lot of hours on the initial stream.
It's a pleasure to have you when we could.
Yeah, I was invited back to help somewhat with the planning for the next time, and so when we started talking about what are we going to do next May, one suggestion that came in from Liz, who I tried to have on the show yesterday. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I know at least one viewer took off work so they could watch that stream with me and Liz hanging out and talking about space, and the stream didn't happen because of microphone and headphone trouble on Liz's end. I'm so sorry about that, y'all. But what I was going to say is Liz had suggested, well, Pat Rothfuss does this charity thing at the end of the year every year for Heifer International as part of his initiative. What's his thing called? World Builders. Yeah, and World Builders does some stuff where they partner with other groups to, like, help their communities raise money for Heifer International. And so why don't we look at using a 12-hour stream for World Builders as a way to kind of shake loose some bugs out of, like, whatever our new things we want to test for next year's 48-hour stream are.
Joe, we're waist deep in water, and you said we could have said test the waters.
Yeah, we could have
right
said
there.
test the waters. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's fine. Also, I'm realizing, like, there might maybe needs to be a door between these, like, dungeons and this hallway. That was maybe an oversight. But
have we? Do you want to talk about what World Builders is?
Why don't you do that while I take notes about how this dungeon is wrong? I'm realizing, for example, that this entire thing needs to be moved like 2 meters that way, and this thing needs to be moved 2 meters this way, and there need to be doors here. So I got a lot of stuff I got to write down real quick. So why don't you tell everybody about World Builders?
So World Builders is another really, really cool organization where they go just above and beyond the, like, buy food. It's very much a it is the essence of teach a man to fish. You teach someone to fish, they can feed themselves for the rest of their lives.
Well, you're talking about Heifer International now, though.
Now I am sorry.
So
now I am referring to.
that's the weird thing about this is so I'm gonna go ahead and post links to both Heifer International and World Builders.
Yes.
So, because World Builders is like Pat Rothfuss's like fundraising group that helps Heifer International, but Heifer International is the actual charity, and that's where like when this stuff gets too convoluted, it's like like we got to keep explaining this to people. Like, why does this? Because like. One of the things World Builders will do is they'll go out and they'll say, hey, people in the gaming community, will you match donations that we raise for Heifer International? Because Heifer International, they're focused on like helping people in poor countries learn to care for livestock and buying them livestock to help create sustainable long-term food sources. And so what they're not focused on is reaching out to people in the gaming community and saying, hey, you run a game company, would you be willing to match $100,000 worth of donations?
Yeah.
And so Pat Rothfuss, being in that like fantasy geek space, like does that sort of work with World Builders, and then like reaches out and encourages small groups like ours to also raise money that we might get some matching funds toward that and all this other stuff. So, sorry, I'll let you talk more about Heifer.
Sorry, so Heifer International, because World Builders does a little bit more, a lot more than just Heifers International, but the Heifers International, they buy livestock, cows, I'm now remembering the cow eggs. We'll skip that for now.
Yeah.
The cows, chickens, goats, a whole bunch of stuff. And not only will they deliver these to communities and families in need across the world, but they will stay and teach them how to take care of, feed, breed, and profit off of these animals. So you can have a cow, you can have this cow give you milk, and that's great. Then you can have that cow make other cows and get more milk from those cows and sell that milk. And actually, at the end of an Acquisitions Incorporated game, he has a wonderful little speech about like how this works. But like, those are money-making machines. They're the first money-making machines.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have somebody not only provide you with this animal, but also teach you how to make more of this animal and make more money and make more food, makes all the difference in the world to these communities. It is an investment.
Yeah.
And I cannot remember the money amounts for how much like a chicken costs and how much a cow costs.
Well, and that's the sort of thing that's going to vary wildly, though. Like,
True.
Don't internalize that number, because then next year when you're tired doing a live stream for 15 hours, you're going to have the 2020 number instead of the 2021 number. But
I don't internalize numbers. I don't do math.
yeah, good. But like my point
that's
is,
other people.
Whatever a chicken costs for someone here, like for someone like in America to be able to donate the amount of money to buy chickens or cows to get people started is a lot less insurmountable than people trying to do that themselves in these poorer communities.
I almost died there.
Yeah. Well,
I couldn't get up.
It's okay. This is supposed to be a pretty dangerous hallway. Yeah, so what I've realized is there's supposed to be a door separating each of these like dungeons from the hallway. I need to move the whole thing back some. I need better arch ceiling. I need to add some mold here. So yeah, it's fine.
Well, while you're taking notes, we did that 12-hour stream, which we were kind of shifting focus from the so in the first 48-hour stream, we were exclusively 48 hours of the PS4 version of Uno, which was convenient in a lot of ways and daunting in others. But it worked. It totally worked. Now we're moving on to more of a variety hour thing. There will be Uno, certainly. But we've done a bunch of other things, including, Gamma was supposed to be on yesterday, and Gamma had an astronomy hour that just blew my socks off. It was so much fun. Michaela Ebel ran a game, and for those who don't know, I'm going to take this opportunity to gush about my friends. Michaela Ebel helped write one of the most recent books from D&D, Icewind Dale. and they are a fantastic DM, a fantastic writer. They're
Wait,
really good at just.
Is it called Icewind Dale or is it called Rime of the Frost Maiden?
I'm sorry, it is Rime of the Frost Maiden.
Because I've been
I
saying
think it's Icewind Dale.
Okay, because I've been saying Rime of the Frost Maiden, and I'm like, oh no, if I've been wrong this entire time, like,
No.
okay.
I think it's Icewind Dale : here. I have the book right here. I'm gonna pull it out. Let's read things. Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. Yes.
Well, there we go.
That is it.
There we go. Okay.
You have to say it like that. You have to roll your R when you say rhyme.
I'm terrible at rolling my R's. Rhyme. No.
You sound like someone who would be in this dungeon right now. That's
yeah,
perfect.
no, this is supposed to be so. Like, for example, with this room, this is supposed to be a torture chamber with a bunch of chains hanging from the ceiling. Chains didn't used to be in Minecraft when we made this, but now they are. So, chains, hooks weren't in Minecraft yet, so we can add some hooks.
Can you put heads on hooks? Because I know you can put heads on other things here.
Oh, we can do all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
But yeah.
So Coffee Junkie is in chat right now mentioning cow eggs and chicken milk.
Yeah, that was one of those things where I'm like, like Pasta messed up because he was tired in the middle of the stream and said like cow eggs and chicken milk instead of the opposite, and people just took the joke and ran with it. And I'm a little worried that joke doesn't work out of that context.
It won't. You're
because
right.
like I want people to understand that Heifer International is a real organization that is helping actual humans improve their lives through the care and like husbandry of livestock and
they aren't a joke.
Yeah, it's one of those things like it's weird. Because like the thing is with a charity stream, you don't want it to be like a Rocky Horror Picture Show screening where the only people who show up are the ones who are like already there for it.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be able to like have organic things. I want every charity event to have its own new weird in jokes.
And I have absolutely like the amount of the type of people that we have on the charity. I have no doubt that will happen. Like it's so nice to, because we haven't. So it's 48 hours or 12 hours. We didn't stop talking. There wasn't like a gap where like we were all kind of sitting there. Like everyone has something to say all the time. It's always entertaining. It's always on, which could be exhausting, but it can also be really, really nice, especially if you're a witness to it.
Yeah, I want to point out. Grant Rogers says, "Whoa, Joe has seen Rocky Horror Picture Show." No, I haven't, and you know why? You know why I haven't? Because the first time I went and saw Tommy Wiseau's The Room, it was a completely like new thing. Because we have this indie theater in Nashville, and so he's like, "Oh, there's a really bad movie. It might be a cult classic one day. We should go see it." People yell stuff during it, and I'm like, "Oh, is it like Rocky Horror where you have to yell to certain things?" It's like, no. Everybody just yells whatever they want whenever they want. And then I made a bunch of jokes during the movie, and people in the audience like laughed along with it, and I thought it was good. And then I went back and saw it again like 7 years later. And the whole thing has been like Rocky Horror Picture-ified, where like you're supposed to yell and respond to things at certain times every time, or you're ruining it. And it's like, I don't want to be part of that. That's why I didn't go see Rocky Horror. So like, yeah, I don't know.
In jokes, I mean, and that's the thing is that we have a massive community full of people, not only like on the stream but in chat. Because we've had like I think in jokes that we've just completely forgotten about in the 48-hour stream. Dar, a friend of ours, banned my mother, my own mother. Pasta's mom was banned, and that was a wonderful thing. I actually think we got some money off of that. But no, we're always going to create new things, and especially for the next one. Did we talk about the next one yet?
Well, hold on.
Talking about the next one yet?
Hold on, we gotta go up on this balcony now. There's no way to get up to this balcony. Yeah, so.
Oh, I am in the like the void zone, seeing all of the show. Yeah, this is some work.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess.
Cool though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go to Rocky Horror Picture eventually, but like I have to be in a good mood for it, and like honestly, like it feels like this. It feels like it's the sort of thing that would be work to go to at this
Yeah.
point, because it's like everybody's like, no, if you're gonna go, you have to do it right. And I'm like, can I just go? And they're like, no, you have to do it right. We have to dress up. You have to learn all the things. I'm like, then I'll pass this year. Eventually, one year, people will say, yeah, just come along. It'll be fun, and then I'll go.
Joe, if you're ever in St. Louis and Frankie Horror is playing, I'm gonna take you. You're gonna have a good time. Don't worry about shouting stuff. It's awesome. I went when I was underage. My friend stuck me in a gorilla costume.
Oh, nice.
It's the best. I didn't know what was going on. It was a blast.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm happy to go. I just don't have time to prepare to go.
Yeah, no,
I want to be. I need to go with somebody who will let me go in blind.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Where are you?
I'll teleport you to me.
Okay, I am a floating head.
Whoops. Whoops. There you go.
Live. Cool.
You are live. Okay.
So what's next? What do we got?
Okay. So this observation balcony, actually back through this red curtain here. Don't fall back in the water because there's no way to get back up. So 2 large wooden thrones rest on the balcony. Red velvet curtain, 30 feet long. I mean, that feels like that one's... I feel like this part of the room, we actually just did the best we could the first time. So that one's, I'm going to just say, is fine for now.
I mean, if this is like an observation post, this is perfect.
Well, it's not an observation post like a guard post. It's like where you would watch people get tortured down below.
Mm-hmm.
So it's...
These are box seats.
Yeah,
what do you call it?
Exactly. Yeah, this is like Yankee Stadium type of thing.
It's exactly like Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
No difference.
Exactly like it. Okay, so then this K78, the Brazier Room.
Ages, yes.
Okay, so this is a room that is radically different in Curse of Strahd than in the original i6 Ravenloft supplement. And there's very few things about the castle that are actually different between like the original release. Like when Chris Perkins took this over to like make Curse of Strahd, he really focused on expanding Barovia and like pushing back the mists rather than like, I'm going to show that I'm a great... Basically, Perkins said, I'm going to show I'm a great game designer by like building cool stuff that supports Castle Ravenloft rather than completely reinventing Castle Ravenloft. So almost all of the stuff from the original castle is basically as is the same.
Okay.
This room, though, is like wildly different. And like I two things though, Pasta. I know you mentioned you are playing in a Ravenloft game right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you were told like by your DM not to read this book. But you also are playing in a Castle Ravenloft one-shot with me tomorrow that's going to explicitly run you through the castle. So you know that, right?
It's okay. I mean, this is
okay.
I can put it aside. You know, there's meta knowledge, and then there's player knowledge. There's my knowledge.
Yeah.
Jimmy is an idiot. He doesn't know anything about castles. He wants to burn the whole thing down.
Well, it's stone, so good luck.
Actually, in our game, we have modified it. It's like Red Guard, like little mice. It's small folk. It's a tree. We could totally burn it down, even though there's magic and things, and it probably wouldn't work. But
you know, trees are usually actually like pretty full of water.
Hard. Yeah, no, it's true.
Like burning down a live tree, like from the inside. It's not the same thing as like, oh, there's a forest fire sucking all of the moisture out of the air and out of the tree, and like, yeah.
Well, like also starting like campfires in the wilderness is something that I enjoy doing, but it's very difficult, and I would suspect it to be very hard to do while a vampire is biting through my neck as well. I suspect that would make things harder.
Yeah, but like also when you make a campfire, you don't use live wood.
No, this is true.
Like, even if you were going to down a tree instead of like finding one that was already downed, you would have to let the wood dry out for like weeks possibly before it was like really good.
It's true.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
So what I was gonna say is this room, I think I'm gonna skip for now because I need to figure out how much of the original i6 supplement I want to do and how much of the Chris Perkins version I want to do. And that's like way too mentally taxing to do while we're talking about a second thing, if
Sure.
that makes any sense.
Totally.
And also, it would give you spoilers both for your game and for my game I'm running tomorrow if I was like, let me break down both these rooms and how they work. Because this room has like a puzzle in it, is the short thing. And it's a different puzzle in each, but the puzzle is very based on things in the room. Right now, there's like nothing in the room because I didn't decorate it very well, but whatever. So yeah. Let's just move on to K79, the Western Stair. And this pencil is just... I don't have a pencil sharpener in here because, of course, anything that I have like that... I bought my child one, too, for school. But hers is broken somehow. Because children. And so mine is now next to her school stuff and not... in here where it should be. Okay, so the Western Stair, the only thing I really need to change about that is adding cobwebs. That's easy enough. And then, did you run up the stair? Or do you still vet? Where'd you go?
I am all the way up. I'm up the spiral staircase.
There's so many staircases. Okay, the center...
And I died.
And... Okay.
That's okay. I can find you.
Great. I think this room maybe is supposed to have doors to the stairs as well. Actually, you know what? Yeah. Door at bottom.
I am lost in Strahd's castle, which is not something I've ever wanted to do. Oh,
no, yeah, people usually recommend against that.
We split the party.
Yep, that was a mistake. Okay, so... Guards' quarters, Chamberlain's office. Get down to these stairs here.
Now, if am I correct in you built this in survival?
Yeah, I built the original in survival, and I'm renovating it now in creative mode.
Okay.
Which doesn't sound that impressive for anybody who's watching this, like, with me down in this dungeon here. But once again, let me zoom out real quick.
It's so impressive. It's so impressive. It's so much.
Yeah.
I mean, before I joined the Discord and did that Minecraft thing for a bunch of different stuff, I only played in survival, and whoa, this is some work.
Yeah, this took me about a year in Hermitcraft Season 5. Season 5 was all about everybody building mega bases, so I was like, well, I'll adapt one of the most gigantic D&D maps ever for Minecraft, and it took me a while. I'm glad I did Death House first to kind of figure out how I needed to do some things with the scale. So I also have a Death House here as well.
Death House was great. That's something that we did.
Yeah, we played
12-hour stream.
We played Death House during the 12-hour stream, yeah. And that was actually, that 12-hour stream is part of what inspired me to do this renovation thing, because the whole time we were playing through Death House, it was like annoying me. I'm like, we didn't have this block back when I built this, but now that we have it, like, I really want to add this, or, we didn't have that, but I could swap this out. And, yeah. People are saying, what's the story? Oh, this is from Ravenloft. i6 supplement for Dungeons & Dragons. And then Curse of Strahd later. But yeah, and then here's the Hermitcraft Games District over here.
explored this a little bit after our game. This is wild. This is so cool.
Yeah, we tend to go all out on the Hermitcraft server.
Yeah, no joke.
Um,
Get a long jump for the ski. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah, the boating long jump. So let's see here. Kara Sophia says if you update it to snapshots, you can even do a copper roof. We've got a test version of the copper roof in now, actually. Do.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen the copper roof yet.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was experimenting with, was seeing how the different types of copper blocks would make it look here.
I'm still amazed that you can make cobblestone. So.
Oh, wait, cobblestones?
Or not cobblestones, like bricks. I mean, I am such a primitive when it comes to Minecraft. I barely play. I don't really pay attention to much of it. I just like to hop on and just goof around.
Gotcha. Yeah, and then this area here though, this part where this part of the chapel pokes through this walkway here is the absolute worst part of the castle, because there's a ton of maps about how the inside works, and everyone who, when they draw the outside of the castle, they just don't draw this part, because it's like, this just juts through and it looks hideous. And I'm like, there's just no safe, logical way to, like, have this work.
And it's Strahd's madness. Strahd went mad!
Well, it was, he actually captured the castle. It wasn't his up front. He's made a few changes.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so if we go back downstairs. Oh man, okay. I think if I go straight down here, this is okay. Then now we're back in the brazier room. Staircase of ancient stone is. Can we do stone stairs now? I'm gonna teleport you to me real quick, and then
Sure.
And then I'm gonna change our game modes real quick. So don't fly into a wall, because you will then like have problems. Game mode, creative at all. Okay. So the center stair is supposed to have smooth stairs, or stairs worn smooth. I'm wondering. I think we can do smooth stairs now that we couldn't do back then. Polished andesite. Or just andesite stairs. Ooh, just stone stairs. These weren't options back then. Yeah. So, I'm going to make a note of that. And this also needs cobwebs. Like, almost every single room needs cobwebs, but not actually every single room. Because some of them are supposed to explicitly not have cobwebs, as, like, a clue to the players, like, which parts of the castle are, like, trafficked by the normal staff or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. This is fine.
Been up here.
Okay. So
That's what I can buy.
yeah, this is so the center stair leads to K81. And then that leads to K80, K81 is a tunnel. And this tunnel is cut into the pillar stone itself. It's supposed to have a lingering fog, and that's one of the things that I haven't found a good way to do in Minecraft. Although there's like ways to do it with particle effects. But
can you, is there something beneath us?
Well, like, no.
Then could you do campfires 2 stones down, covered up? Maybe see if the smoke comes through?
Oh, that's an interesting idea. The thing is, the smoke is going to go all the way up to the top of the tunnel. Whereas it's supposed to be like a lingering fog that like clings to the ground. So you should be able to see down the tunnel, but it should be like disconcerting that you can't see the floor. Like, there's just a lot of stuff where it's like, this castle is not supposed to be a comfort.
Yeah. Let's try just here that, and then we'll just do
Yeah, let's see.
And then we just do that over and over again.
Did you just write fog?
Yeah, just over and over again, all the way down the hallway.
Yeah. No, that'll work. That'll work. Okay.
I'm so dumb. I'm sorry.
No problem.
The worst thing is I make myself laugh.
It's fine. Okay. So.
Oh, I am loving this room.
Which
I don't
one?
want to say anything.
Did you go into the catacombs?
Mm-hmm. This is delightful.
Yeah, this was kind of a lot to make. And I still have probably made so many mistakes in here. I think for a while there was actually a Karis Sophia catacomb, who's one of the people watching right now. Oh, it's still here. I found it.
Saja! Too soon.
Yeah.
Too soon.
No, so that's the thing though, is like, oh, I thought there was some sort of joke to this where like, there's several of them that are like labeled wife. One of them's labeled bride. And I think one of them was supposed to be beloved wife. So it's like all of the rest. It's just, it's
Damn.
it's like he's got married 4 times and only one of them was actually like beloved or whatever. But maybe I might be forgetting. I think Perkins updated some of the jokes in the crypts. That's one of the few changes he did make, because some of the jokes were kind of dated. But like every single one of these crypts has like notes that would need to be made about it, like and we didn't have armor stands in the same way that we do now. Like Crypt 9, Pidlwick, Fool of Dorfnia. A small skeleton wearing the remains of a fool's costume lies atop a stumpy marble slab. Like I could make a fool's costume out of like leather and stuff now, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't say anything. But it just opened up. I opened up Sir Cedric Spinvitovich.
Which one's that one? Is that the one?
There's a sign in there that you made.
Okay. Well, the thing is, the signs like, if there's a sign in there that I made, it's probably a sign that Chris Perkins made.
Okay.
Basically.
Also, you've got Irina over here.
One of them.
Irina is still very much alive in our game. She's kicking.
Oh,
kicking
there's
butt.
there's more than one Irina.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You got to keep in mind, like a lot of the this place, Barovia's been trapped in the mist for like hundreds of years. So there's a lot of family names and recurring names and stuff. Like
yeah, that's true. Well, there's also some spoilery things that we probably shouldn't talk about for those who haven't played it. But
yeah.
This is just. I kind of want to build like my own crypt in Minecraft now and just like hang out in there.
Yeah.
I'd love to have like a mocha down here or something. This is nice.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things though that like I just didn't get to. Like this is like supposed to be Strahd's parents' crypt, and I just like here's two chests of
I always just do chests with bones in it and
Yeah.
like some clothing scattered around.
Yeah, like this is just like super basic like representative stuff, but like the actual room here so the problem is D&D Beyond doesn't do a great job with okay. So Dungeons and Catacombs. So the problem is it's hard to jump around inside of sections on the iPad here. Oh,
I'm free. Oh, I found the way out. Everything's gonna be fine. Oh. Oh no.
So Tomb of Queen Barov and Queen Ravenovia. Tall stained glass windows dominate the eastern walls, allowing dim light to fall on 2 coffins resting atop white marble slabs. Because you got to keep in mind, this is supposed to be built into a pillar stone like 1,000 feet high, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, one of the things I didn't have time to do was I was like, okay, I just need to mine out all of this and put in a stained glass window. And that obviously didn't happen. But I did go, okay, so if somebody did want to, like, try to climb down the pillar to get to the stained glass window, what does that look like? And so I kind of built a tunnel to try and, like, figure out where that would be. And, yeah, I recommend against falling out of the world, though, Pasta. That's a no-go.
You know what? I'm an explorer, man.
Yeah, no, I get it.
An explorer who has no idea where he is now.
Okay, yeah, I can teleport you back to me. Okay. So, like, what I actually need to do is, like, turn everything from here over. Hey, Maha Elise, thank you for the, I think it's called Norwegian kroners. Let's see. That's 50 Norwegian kroners. According to my Google check, that's roughly 6 US abacus beads. Who says perfect background noise for making stuff. Thanks. Yeah, glad to help, Maha. Yeah, also, if anybody's just joining us, quick reminder, we've got Pasta of Draw for Charity here. I've been trying to encourage you, somewhat informally, to work on your elevator pitch. I have not necessarily come out and said this, but Pasta, if you had to explain to people what Draw for Charity is, what's the elevator pitch?
Draw for Charity is a collective of nerds, artists, geeks, do-gooders, do-badders who do good. We raise money for charities. Currently, the 2 charities that we raise money for are Draw for Charity. Draw for Charity. Child's Play.
Yep.
For Child's Play, and another is for World Builders. We do good work. We have a ton of fun. That's my elevator pitch.
Gotcha.
We've reached the 3rd floor.
Yeah, the way I've been explaining it is it's a group of friends who stream gaming activity, or it's a group of friends who stream games to raise money for different charities around the year or throughout the year.
I need a longer elevator. My pitches are super long.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So what I need to do now is I need to okay, I think that if I go that way, this is going to go up.
I mean, you try to make the illusion of, like, sun shining through a window, or?
No, here, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I think you'll like this.
Okay.
That might have not worked as well as I thought it was going to. Hold on. Well, so if I go forward, so this is 891, and then I need to go out as far as, oh, that's why, okay. Oh, okay. So we'll go out to like 950 here, and we'll go up to like there.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
As you can see, I have the ability with commands to just, like, rip out things. Like air things. And I can just keep doing it until we get to the bottom of the castle here, Ta-da!
Perfect.
Now the thing is, I actually ripped out a bunch of. I was too aggressive there. There's no undo command. So when I do this for real, this is why we're kind of doing this audit and this testing thing here, so that I can make sure to not screw this up as badly later. But
I'm instinctually gathering the lost torches because when you just play survival, it's like you make sure that you recycle as much as you can.
oh yeah, you might need that.
Realize that we're in creative right now.
Yeah. So the thing is that
Oh, you got some water.
oh, I mean it's not that huge. I'm not worried.
Okay, I was just worried there's something.
No, there's nothing for it to flood down there. But anyway, so I accidentally turned a bunch of stuff under the castle. Like this is supposed to like arc out here. Like I'm doing a poor job of like creating an arc. But like this is supposed to be like supported against the pillar stone, like cantilevered or something.
Okay.
But there's supposed to be something like a support under here. This isn't just supposed to be one thin. That's just how the find and replace command happened to work out. But the idea is, though, that in theory, people who were up here might be able to swing out over the side and see that window all the way down there. It would be very hard to get to, and the game explains like a whole bunch of reasons that a party that attempts to do that is probably going to fail to actually like use that as a viable shortcut. But it is something where like it's supposed to be there to like hint that there's stuff more underneath the castle that you can't see.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So just to kind of give you a sense though of like the pillar stone is supposed to be like 1,000 feet up, right? So even
what's a foot in this for you, or 5 feet in this? Is it a block or?
Okay, so basically the way it works is the more meters you go, the closer the numbers come to being accurate, right? So I basically do the best metric conversion I can. And so like 10 meters in feet. Okay, wait. So actually, wait. 30 feet in meters. So 30 feet is almost exactly 9 meters, right?
Okay.
But if I have something that's 10 feet, I usually make it about 3 meters. If I have something that's 5 feet, I usually make it 1 meter. But sometimes, depending on how the rooms work, I have to make it 2 meters. And like the smaller spaces is where that really breaks down, like those tiny knights' quarters that we saw.
Yeah.
Whereas like on the huge walls, the towers and stuff, I can just use a pretty, like the what gets lost in the approximation gets wiped out basically at that scale.
So you adapt as best you can.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of the things that makes the Death House so much more difficult than this is the spaces are smaller.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in theory, though, players could be standing here and looking down and, like, just, dang it. This command, unfortunately, doesn't work for, like, large volumes. Because, like, the game will fail.
Okay.
So, in theory, though, players in Barov and Ravenovia's tomb should be able to look down and just see this, like, 800-foot abyss.
Okay.
Here. And,
are you going all the way down to the fog?
well, that's why, yeah, that was the idea. Do. You should probably fly.
I did. I didn't. The floor disappeared the moment I touched it.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for the raid, Mizen YT. We are currently working on renovating an old survival mode build of mine. I built this in Season 5 of Hermitcraft in Survival, and we're working on plans to renovate it with modern creative mode snapshot stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, so the idea of being able to like look out from over here and see down the pillar stone to where that tomb is something like before these commands existed, like there was no way that I was going to have time to just mine this out in survival to make the pillar stone work. But now, as you can see, I can just basically stand here with these coordinates and tilde 1, let's say 50. Tilde -14. Yeah, so I can just back up to here now and say -34. And it'll just kind of go. Now, realistically, I probably want to have more of an elevation change in there. And let's start higher. Then we come down here. And now I can just kind of keep repeating the same command as I fall.
Yeah.
And I can also see that... So this command will let you affect 3,200 blocks at a time. And it says that I affected 3,341 out of 32,000 or something. So if I just turn this -4 into like a -35... dang it, that was too big. I did bad math. -16. Hey. Now we're cooking with pillar stones. Oh no, that dimension is out of this world. Okay.
Good say.
Yeah, so you get a more of a sense of like how imposing the castle is too, from the people that like look up from the mists, and you just be able to see like the walls. You wouldn't even be able to see the top of the castle from like this angle.
Yeah.
Like from down in the village and stuff.
So you're gonna have the village down here?
Probably not, because the building out the actual village would actually be a pretty significant project.
Sure.
And I've thought about it, but it's a lot.
I mean, most D&D parties are just going to, burn most of it down anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
And that's the thing too, though, is am I like creating Curse of Strahd, or am I trying to build Ravenloft? Because Curse of Strahd is way bigger. Like, you got Valaki, you've got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Well, Valaki in itself would be a massive undertaking. That's a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Wait, what did I kill here? Apparently, I destroyed a bunch of random...
I found some beef jerky in a box here.
Interesting.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, apparently there was some sort of dungeon something there. But, yeah.
Yeah, there's a monster spawner.
Ah, there. So it all just dumped out.
Yep.
So, anyway, I'm just kind of doing this to, like, mess around with the tools.
Sure.
Dang it. Stupid lava. Okay.
Keep looking around this castle. Oh, I guess maybe some warning. If anybody's ever interested in the Curse of Strahd, read some of the warnings about it first. There's some stuff in there that can be kind of rough, but it is a wonderfully woven world for you to explore, and I've been having a blast with my DM, Drunk Vitologist, who's been running it. Just phenomenal work. Where else can I go?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like we're kind of, like, technically we blocked out 2 hours for this, but we've
we're reaching the end.
Yeah, we've kind of hit like the problem is going through all of these tombs is like way more focused work.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
and we've basically finished the rest of the castle except for like that other than that puzzle room that I also need to do kind of separately, you know. But yeah, so I'm just kind of like messing around with like, oh, how's this gonna look when we actually have the pillar stone all together? And I think the answer is gonna be pretty good. So that's exciting.
This looks cool from every angle, but like when you're standing on top of a tower and you're like looking down, I could be Strahd.
Oh yeah, I mean it's obviously it's within your skill set.
Yes. Somebody give me a castle. Somebody buy me a castle.
Yeah.
Man, that D&D in a castle. Ugh.
Yeah, I always forget that like that's an option for people. Like that's just a thing that some people can do is they can go buy a castle. Like and I'm happy for them, but like also wow.
So give it to me. Give me a castle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I love this fireplace. I think I'm in like a library of some kind. The fireplace with the disturbing oh, it's just a person holding a pig.
That's one of the
This
built-in
looks-
Minecraft fireplaces. Or not fireplaces, paintings.
It looks eldritch in nature. Like it looks disturbing from a distance, but now I see what it is.
Yeah, no, that's just one of the it's supposed to have like a disturbing painting of a woman or something. And so that was the best I could do.
That works. It disturbed me. Oh, you got a bell in here. Nice.
Yep. Okay. I was gonna say to try and get to where you are without breaking anything.
Yeah, the cool thing about Ravenloft is that when you are playing Curse of Strahd, you're always looking at it and it's always looking at you. I think you can see it pretty much everywhere in Barovia.
Well, it's 1,000 feet up. Like
Yeah, it's
okay,
it's huge.
So
it's
like
always
so
there.
it's like okay, so the pillar stone is 1,000 feet up. And
Yeah.
and then you have the castle built on top of it. So it's like how tall is the Empire State Building? It's 1250, although 1454 to tip. So yeah, like this thing is the castle itself is like another 300 feet high. So yeah, this is like looking at the Empire State Building. You're gonna have it's gonna be visible in the distance.
It's daunting.
Yeah.
Actually, we're on the next episode of our game, not our game, you and Joe, but the game that I'm in.
Yeah.
Apparently, Strahd's coming for us. Like we haven't seen him. We've been playing for almost 2 years now. We haven't seen him at all.
Oh really?
And now apparently he's coming. He wants to talk to us, so that's cool.
That's interesting because like in the book, there's like a few different ways that you can run Strahd, and one of them is like more high appearance interference. Not like he shouldn't be showing up every session. You shouldn't be like constantly like, oh, and we're 15 minutes away from the conclusion, so Strahd's gonna pop in to teach us a lesson. Like, okay, well, I think we all learned something valuable about sharing today. But
so we have two teams, Team A and Team B. And Team B has had somebody who has been carrying around an orb that Strahd has like been scrying on them with, and also apparently hitting on one of the players, which is very interesting. But you've seen him. We haven't seen him at all. So this is big.
Interesting. So yeah. So
Can I run through your Can I run? Oh, go ahead.
No. What were you gonna say?
I want to run through your death house again real quick. I just want to look at it. Is that okay?
Yeah. Like basically this is a temporary version of all this. Like all the stuff I'm doing right now, I'm going to have to redo. Like I've been experimenting with like world removal commands and stuff, but I'm going to have to do this on camera for the actual like episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not Strahdy Tales.
Strahdy Tales.
It's like Veggie Tales.
Yeah.
Because what we have learned applies after lives today. Strahd has a lot to say. with his books. I don't know. You know that Strahd's word is for everyone. Now that our song is done, take a bite. I should have done this better. I didn't prepare this.
No, it's off the cuff and it's wonderful.
It's off the cuff.
I've never seen. Is this VeggieTales? I've never seen VeggieTales.
Oh, yeah. So VeggieTales is made by people in Tennessee.
Really?
And yeah. They actually like their studios. I don't know if this is still true post COVID because like a lot of people switched to like working from home and stuff. But they like bought out like a department store in a mall because you know how malls all kind of closed down.
Yeah.
And so they're just like, hey, you know what would be cool is if we could get super cheap office space for our animation studio, because running animation studios in Tennessee is more affordable than running them in like New York, although it's still not like making people in Asia do it cheap, you know. But yeah, so they bought a department store basically in a mall and put a studio in. But what it is they do like parodies of pop culture stuff, but convert it to Bible stories. So like if you ever wanted to see like a Star Trek Bible mashup that like knows how ludicrous it is to mash up the Bible and Star Trek. And it's also kind of Blackadder-esque, where like they have these stock characters that are like the vegetables who play the roles of the different biblical figures in these weird pop culture mashups. So it's in some ways it's like like a SNL-esque, I guess you could say too, because it's like, okay, you know they're gonna have this actor play like the big loud heavy guy, except in this case it would be this vegetable is gonna play the big loud heavy guy, and they'll make him Esau or whatever. It makes no sense. It's the dumbest, weirdest thing, but like the fact that they're just like they know how dumb and weird it is.
Okay.
It anyway, yeah. It's very American. People are saying, I'm wondering if it's an American thing. You don't get more American than mashing up Star Trek and the Bible and vegetables.
I had no idea. I knew that it had something vaguely to do with the Bible, but it sounds less vague and more like very extremely on the nose.
Yeah. It's one of the few pieces of like religious animation that I actually think like has broader artistic value, maybe is a good way to put it. But it's also like it's still its own thing. It's weird. Hey, Darth Morthen, thank you for the 5. That puts us $9 away from our first face camera expansion. Let's see. So anyway, are you still walking through the death house?
Yeah, actually, I don't know if I can get out.
Where were you trying to get to?
I think I just did the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Unless I missed something. Ooh, there's a ladder here. Ooh. Oh, this looks like construction space.
Maybe.
Yeah. If you want to teleport me to you, that's fine.
Okay. Dang it. Do. Okay.
Sorry, it just occurred to me that one of the Zelda noise and the Addams Family have the same da 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 da.
That can't possibly. I'm super tone deaf, and that can't possibly be the same.
Da 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 da.
Do.
If you could say do 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 because it's da 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 but I swear to you,
Da.
it's the same like progression.
No,
Da 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 da.
It's not. No, but I think the Addams Family one repeats the same note,
but it gets higher. It goes da 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 da. Da 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 da.
I'm so bad at noises that everyone's gonna get mad at me if I try to explain why I think this is wrong. Because I don't
Do it. Go.
I don't I know that these can't be the same sounds, but I don't have the vocabulary to explain why I know they're different sounds, and so people are just going to be like, no, those are all the wrong words, and also that Pasta's absolutely right. So
No one ever says that. No one ever says that. Even if I am, I'd never hear it. It's fine.
oh, it's fine. It's fine. Okay.
Man, I'm sorry. We keep kind of branching out here, but this Red Sky Bay, the design of this, it's so good. It's so good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I spent a long time brainstorming.
It's like good graphic design. Like
thank you.
Sorry.
Well, it was inspired by the Hungarian mathematician who created the Rubik's Cube's original design for the Rubik's Cube.
Hey, okay, I see it. Yeah.
And I came up with the idea to have some sort of bay in the name, because I was basically, this whole bay was going to be my base in season 5.
Sure.
And these people that I knew had this sign that they made that I like quote unquote bought from their server to recreate in my old server. Hey, thank you for the 9, Darth Vorthen, who says $9 away. Here you go. That is going to put us evenly at our first face camera expansion. So we are going to say, howdy, y'all. Grow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. So it was something like Wet Cow Bay or something that they had.
Okay.
And I was like, I like the idea of, and their sign had like 3 3-letter words. Oh, it was Sea Cow Bay. That was it. And I was like, I like the idea of having my bay having a sign that has 3 3-letter words in it too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I brainstormed for a long time, and I came up with Red Sky Bay. And the reason that I liked this is because there's this old poem or ditty, and maybe you've heard this, Pasta, although St. Louis is pretty landlocked, right?
Yeah.
Red sky at night, sailors delight.
Delight.
Red sky in morning, sailors take warning. And then people would come in and be like, so Joe, what time is it? And I'd be like, time for you. I'd just be like, you decide. Or, you know, use your own eyes. It's like, I want you to delight, but I also want to warn you. This is like my work.
I dig this.
Yeah. So like, that's the thing is like, I usually, anything I do either has 0 reason for it or like 800 reasons for it. And this is one of those 800 reasons for it thing. There's no short explanation for this. But yeah. So yeah, that was my season 5 base, was Red Sky Bay.
Oh, you got your little temporary shelter here.
Yep, that was.
There's always something sad about tearing down your temporary. Once you finish your big build, it's like, this thing has sheltered me for so long.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. And so up here, this is where I would build out experimental designs. I called this my Jolo deck. Because people were yelling YOLO a lot in this time period. So yeah, this was like my experimental building space too, where I would have a place to like over here I'm experimenting with a palette for some walls on a build, or I was messing with redstone ideas for a drawbridge and stuff like that in here, and then I just rip it out. But like from here out the window you could see the walls of the castle or parts of the bay, that sort of thing. I think I got my view distance turned down a little bit. No, I don't. It's just,
well, a lot of people don't realize that there is actually a giant Rubik's Cube outside of Strahd's castle. They don't really mention it in the books or anywhere in the official material, but
Oh no, yeah. So that is one of the things that I do need to do, though, is I need to cull all of the things around here.
It's a shame you can't create a fog effect that would be like too thick to see, because like if you were on the walls here, you could Yeah, I don't know.
Well, but
I
like
don't know
if you
about Minecraft.
come look at the walls over here, the fog effect from the glass that I put in doesn't actually look bad.
Oh, it looks pretty good. Yeah.
And like I experimented with like I can go in and I can tear up the mist by just punching a bunch of holes in them there.
You also got good layers. You can use gray and white to kind of mix up the density.
Oh yeah,
But this is great. Yeah.
yeah. So let me set this back to night. Or time set midnight.
Yeah, this looks good.
And then also weather thunder. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. This isn't a snow area.
Oh, it's a winter. That's okay though. Like that misery of like cold, wet snow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect for Strahd's Castle.
But the mixed biomes here are a problem.
Is there a way to fix that?
Not easily.
Okay, that's what I've heard.
That's on my list. Like, what I'm probably going to have to do is break the entire castle down into schematics and move it into a flat world with a set biome.
Yeah, we had that trouble building Red Larch and Chris Straub's town that I can't remember was, we wanted snow, couldn't get it.
Yeah. Okay. So, let me go ahead and repost a link to the Draw for Charity Twitter, just in case anybody hadn't gotten the chance to catch that.
If you can, please follow it.
Yeah, we've got our next big event coming up in May of 2021, which is going to be another 48-hour stream benefiting Child's Play. We don't have exact start times and dates announced yet, I don't believe. But we are close to nailing those down the beginning of the year. Yeah, so I was going to say, Pasta, Unstoppable Tips 2, who says, I'll donate 10,000 if you break a cactus. I really doubt that you're going to do that. So,
don't make promises you can't keep.
Yeah, also YouTube is not going to let you give $10,000. So, but what I was going to say is, do you have any final words for everybody before we head out, Pasta?
To those who were there with us for the past couple ones, thank you so much for your donations, or even just showing up and giving your voice. I'm really excited for the next one. That's all I got.
Awesome. Yeah, we had a great time both at the May stream and at the December one, and yeah, I look forward to seeing y'all again in May there. So, anyway, until next time. Oh yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna raid Tab Twice, who is playing some hardcore Minecraft right now, and I believe has a cat in her arms. So you can't. Oh nope, that's not a cat. Okay, well, sometimes the thumbnail could be really misleading on these things. But anyway, until next time, y'all. This is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.